It is sunrise in America. You know, I used to wonder why they always put psychiatric hospitals, real expensive, private psychiatric hospitals, way up in the hills. You know, I could never figure that out. It's like the people that had the biggest problems were the ones who party in the cities and do drugs in the cities, have their homes in the cities, you know, their friends in the cities, their social lives in the cities. But they would always go to the hills, you know, for psychiatric help. You know, whether it was drugs or psychosis or frayed nerves or toxic stress or whatever. It was always somewhere up in the hills. All right. Well, this is part 3. This is the Trident the finish to the I'm Coming Mom story about trying to get the sun off my back, if you will, and clear the warrant that I had in Massachusetts for trespassing on the sight train a year or so ago. I recorded this about a week ago, but on a bus out of Boston, but it didn't quite take. First, I was interrupted by the bus PA, and then I was interrupted by the children on the bus who wanted to sleep at 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning. You know, they can't wait till they get home. You know, it's like, you know. And then I was kind of interrupted by the device itself, because when I went to play back the video of the vlog, there was no audio, so I have no idea what that's all about. And hopefully this is being recorded, not only video, but also audio. Anyways, it all kind of fits together here in a very symbiotic way about life in America here in this month of December. I stayed at the Pine Street Inn the night before I had to appear in Somerville, and it was fantastic. Had a great time. The boys were mindful, they were respectful, and that's probably because they were homeless. So everybody kind of, you know, just kept it quiet, minded each other, and went to sleep. In the morning, I got up early because I wasn't sure about where this Somerville courthouse was, and I took off into the city looking for a cup of coffee and Wi-Fi so I could Google the address of this place. I had no such luck finding coffee in Boston I started at 6. And then I started walking through the city, 6:30, 7:30, no coffee in the entire Boston. There were a lot of young people sitting in coffee shops and restaurants along the way, but every door was locked to the Starbucks, Dunkin' Donuts, or private cafe that I tried to get into on a weekday morning in downtown Boston. Anyways, I found the address to the Somerville courthouse, and I made my way over there. And the court appearance was at 9. I think I got into Somerville at 8. I had a little problems with directions because I couldn't figure out where it was. From, the Google map, it said, you go down this street and then it'll intersect here, and then it's a no-brainer. You'll see it, And I tried to get more details, but couldn't. So I assumed that Google was like, you can't miss it. You get here, you're home. So I headed there, and I got a little lost. And of course, neighbors were they were as ignorant as neighbors could be. Always so helpful. Male, female, it didn't matter. No, I don't know. So anyways, I found my way to the courthouse at about 8:30, and I go to the entrance. Beautiful, quaint little, Massachusetts, old time, charming courthouse. I go to the entrance, and I'm told by the guard there that I cannot bring in any cell phones or electronics. I'm there, no, don't worry. But you can check my bag, I'll shut them off, they'll be off. And the guard was adamant, no cell phones in the courthouse. Now, I really thought he was joking to me, but he's guard, and he's not private security. He's like, Somerville's finest. So I'm like, oh no. I'm like, all right, so can you keep my bag until my appearance? No, we don't keep bags and things like that. So I'm getting really hot and really angry. And so I go to the parking lot, of course, where the entrance is. It's to the car parking lot. It's not to the front of the building. It's to the rear. And I sit down to cool off, and I'm going to try it again at about, at 9 o'clock. It's so absurd. I really thought he was joking with me. I thought he was kidding. And I'm sitting there, and I'm trying to cool down, and I'm trying to think what to do and how to get around this. And I noticed somebody go into the courthouse, and I just turned, and over my shoulder, I noticed a sign right there, above me in the parking lot. And it said, no cell phones are allowed in the courthouse, on a metallic permanent sign was emboldened, no cell phones allowed in the courthouse. So after steeling myself to this ain't charming anymore, because you're not considering people outside of neighborhood, children, who you're worried about texting inside your little courthouse here. As I try to compensate for the anger I feel for having been brought up here as a 50-year-old homeless man to entertain these people, to get this resolved, that they consider only the young people with their autos and their parents and crap like that. So I'm thinking, all right, what do I do next? Do I give it up and just take the warrant with me around the rest of the country, it seems to me, or do I get this done? So, thinking on my feet, as I have to do in some way every single day of my life, I decide, hey, there is Planet Fitness right across the river. I'll go there, log in, throw my crap into a locker, and then head back to the courthouse, which is what I did. So I get to the courthouse, and of course, it's a Friday, I think it was, and there was, a lot, just a few things to wrap up and clean up, as far as casework was concerned. The regular judge, if there was a regular town judge, he wasn't there. They had some replacement in there who, oddly enough, I seem to recognize somewhere in my past. But anyways, they take care of all the break-ins, burglaries, drug charges and assaults and all that. And then they get to me as the last one in the courtroom, and the judge actually has to say to me, what are you doing here? And so I walked out of there about 2 p.m. with hopefully the case resolved, but, only a run-in with another police department will decide that if that's resolved or not. But it's Christmas in America, and as old Merle Haggard sang, oh, if we make it through December, we'll be all right.